Thank you to our driver/guide Wyron. The dolphins were amazing, and also the temples and hot spring were a great experience too. The temple's location and sights were breathtaking. Take care in the hot springs as the floor is slippery and wet. Would recommend this trip to anyone in Bali. I looked for multiple itinerary packages, and only Klook's package perfectly matched what I wanted to do, watching dolphins at sunrise and visiting Brahmavihara Arama, and it also had the Sky Gate, which was the icing on the cake. Since dolphin watching must be carried out in the early morning and the journey is long, the driver arrived at the hotel to pick us up before 2:30 midnight. The driver and tour guide that day was named Wyra. He was a mature and polite man. He was very steady, careful, patient, and had first-class driving skills. He had more than 20 years of experience in the tourism industry. We introduced ourselves as soon as we met, and before driving we were reminded again to bring the necessary necessities and enough warm clothes, because waiting at the beach in the early morning to go out to sea, and blowing on the boat are both cold and windy, so we must bring thick coats. When we arrived at the beach and waited to board the boat, Wyra stayed with us and we felt much safer. Wet your calves when getting on board, preferably wearing long pants that can be pulled up and shoes that can be wet, or take your shoes off. There were 3 groups of 6 people on our boat, one sitting in a straight line with the other. Not long after we got out of the boat, we saw the bright red fiery sun. In the early days of leaving the ship, because there are so many ships, the ship will be jammed, and dolphins will not be seen. Until everyone goes their separate ways, the dolphins will jump out of the sea and fly in a wider space. The beauty of nature and the power of life are infinitely moving. After watching the dolphins, Wyra recommended a restaurant on the mountain. It has a first-class view and a panoramic view of the north. The food is delicious, the environment is comfortable and hygienic, and I am very satisfied. Then set off for Brahmavihara Arama. This is the largest Buddhist temple in Bali, with a solemn and peaceful atmosphere. Some people say it is a smaller version of Borobudur, and it really does look like it. Since everything in the temple is written in Indonesian, Wyra tried his best to translate and explain to us. During the period, he also took photos for us, both from far and near. He was very attentive. Wyra knew that we wanted to stay longer, so he waited quietly for us to chant without any prompting or complaint. Then we arrived at the Sky Gate. We only took a few pictures outside and left without going inside. We heard from the security guard that we had to wait for an hour or 2 before we could take a few pictures. I thought it was a waste of time and the schedule for the day had already been completed. Soon, Wyra had to finish work and go home, so we immediately set off for the return flight. It was almost 6 o'clock when we returned to the hotel. This day's itinerary was very fulfilling and satisfying. I saw what I wanted to see, and Wyra's care made the trip smoother. Wyra was the only driver among the several tour groups we participated in Bali who always asked if we wanted an extra bottle of water when we got on the bus. We were really satisfied with this trip. Thank you, Wyra. Driver Mr. Kate picked up at 5 a.m. It was 3 hours ride to Lovina. Reached around 2 hours plus and took the boat to see the dolphins. Didn't manage to see sunrise, but there's so many dolphins that we can see. Awesome trip, but snorkeling only provide goggles without the tube. So quite a bit disappointed.